welcome to this video. In last class, we have discussed how to install Python and how to open an IDLE and how to set the path for the IDLE. So in this video, we'll be learning about print function and something called input function, and we will also be going through the inbuilt modules representing the Python. Actually, if you see, the Python has a major advantage in this aspect. Has a large number of inbuilt functions. If you want to go through that, just open it ideally and type help. It will go into your help section, and wherein, as you can see, to get the list of modules, you can type these things. So I want to say modules in Python's the inbuilt functions are known as modules. As you can see, there are in numbers more than 500 plus inbuilt functions are there in Python, which is a major advantage with respect to in regard of Python with compared to other languages. Like in C, you see there are not about 200 inbuilt functions. They are quite less. And in Java also there are not many inbuilt functions, and also its syntaxes are very easy in Python. Coming back to today's topic, so let's have a small recap in what we have learned in the last class. We have seen a basic print function. This was our first program which we wrote in one line, which states print open parenthesis open quotes welcome to my YouTube channel and close the quotes then close parenthesis, and then when I give enter, it will just display the text which is present inside the quotes. So let's make a new file. Just press Ctrl N. Before writing any program in any languages, it is my recommendation that you save it first, so that if some power loss or something happens to your RAM in between, your program will not. As of now, we'll be dealing with 1 or 2 lines of program, but in the near future, when we write about 20 to 25 lines of code, it will be horrible experience for you to write it again and again the same piece of code. Even you'll be like frustrated, like why should I need to write this again and again? You will regret that in future. So let's save it, and I have a folder named Python tutorials in my directory, and let's save this file as 01 underscore print.py. Now remember, when saving a Python file, the extension should always be .py. It should not be .java or anything. It should be .py, which indicates that that particular file is a Python file. So in this program, hello world, which is known as hello world program. Very simple. Just write print hello world. As I told you in the last class, the print statement in the print function, whatever there inside the quotes, it will display as it is without even checking. It won't see whether there's an error or not. It won't even check. It will just consider it as a human input and will display as such. So now let's save it and run the program. For running, either you can go to this run option in the taskbar and go to run module, or you can see there's a shortcut key here named F5. So you can press that F5 also and run it. So as you can see, it displays the hello world, which is what we gave in this. This is what we gave inside the parenthesis. Now I want to show you one thing in this ID. When I write print and open bracket, shows what are all the possible function or possible way to write this particular function. We have seen in the first class what is end, what the separation means, and what flush and find, etc. What are all those means? Those value indicates of variables, or your separation indicate the space between a variable. By default, the space will be 1. 1 in the set will be a space bar. And the end indicates whether you want to break that line, or in that line at that particular output, you can give a slash in. Or you can even slash \t, which indicates after this output make 8 spaces. 8 spaces indicates a tag. We have a tab button in the keyboard, right? The tab indicates the 8 spaces. So to go 8 spaces away, it will leave 8 spaces and then display next output. Coming back, what I will do here, I will try to display it in this way. Hello, separate. So I'm gonna separate give like this. I want you guys to guess whether it will work or not. Will show won't I mean one thing. Let's take few seconds. You can pause the video and just check whether it works or not. As you can see, it works. So in Python, it doesn't matter how many we give. And if you notice, it's given a space, right? Even though I have also given a space, but let me show you. If I remove the space and let's run it again, you can see the space is still available, which means there is a default separate sep. It's called a sep argument, which describes it as default is a one space bar present there. So it will display. Now, if I do like a hello world this, it will be same. It will be same. Just guess it. What happened is after the world, there will be gap of one space. Means one space will be left out, and then the next output. Let's say if you wanna check, let's give another world. Hello world, human, just for fun. Okay, so it gives. It says positional argument follows argument keyword. That means you cannot give any other value after you have put your call the separate or you have used the separate any of the argument other than the value. So it's an error. So what I'm gonna do, I will just take this separate and I'll do print and I'll add that separate here and print human. Save it. Alright. So you can see it goes to the next line, but there is a space here. But there is a space. So that space tells you whether you're executing it or not. So I'll show you one more function here in this case. It is type function. So that type tells what kind of or what type of database it is. So in Python we have int, float, character, and last one is a boolean. These are the types of their types in Python. Okay, if you know get to know what all these types are, but you might have guessed it like int is an integer, float is for decimal, and character of course you all know char is a short form of character. So you all know it's for the words or alphabets or letters you give. And boolean. What does boolean mean? It's a new word, right? What does this mean? In 12th class or in lower classes, you might have learned something called Boolean algebra, right? That Boolean algebra uses two variables, true or false, or you can say two numbers, zeros and ones. Otherwise known as binary system. So what happens is every value for one is true and every value for zero is a false. That's what Boolean algebra means. And so let's say if I give A is equal to true. Remember, true is a keyword. What a keyword is? Keyword are a set of words which cannot be changed or used for naming a variable. Now here, A is a variable which I assign the value is true. So when I say print type of A, let's see what. Let me Just to comment it out so that it get displayed in the middle. You can see it displays the class bool. That means that particular variable belongs to the class bool, which is also known as boolean. Now, let's say I give a is equal to say hello. When I say print type of a, so let me dict out. So when I give a the value of hello, it will display. See, displaying a string. That means it's a word. String in the sense it's a word. Character and a string, same.